Recorded Books and RB Digital present Hearts, Strings, and Other Breakable Things by Jacqueline Firkins. Narrated by Laura Knight Keating. Chapter 1. At first, the car ride was simply annoying. Edie slouched in the back seat of the SUV, clutching her mom's sticker-coated guitar case. Her Uncle Bert kept his eye on the road, characteristically quiet. Her Aunt Nora blithely rattled on from the passenger seat, characteristically not so quiet. She was lost in speculation about the challenges poor Edith would face now that she'd left foster care and come to live in a real home. Edie didn't have a stable upbringing, a private education, or any exposure to society. Her wardrobe was atrocious. Her posture was appalling. She had bright orange cheese powder under her ragged fingernails, proving she had no understanding of proper diet or personal care. She was practically poisoning herself. "And that hair!" Nora exclaimed. "Good Lord, what will the neighbors say?" Edie sank a little lower and tried to finger-comb through the worst of her tangles, unsure why the neighbors would care about something as trivial as her hair. The purple dye that clung to the tips had long since faded to a subtle shade of lavender. The rest was a painfully ordinary shade of brown. It was dry and frizzy, and she hadn't cut it for a couple years, but it was just hair. "Don't worry," Bert assured Nora, drawing her attention away from the back seat. "You'll get Edith up to snuff in no time. Why, look what you've done with me." "Yes, you're right, of course." Nora sighed while adjusting Bert's shirt collar. "I do have a talent for improving people. The ladies in the club are always remarking on it." Edie assumed Nora was referring to her Great Hearts Good Causes Club, which she'd been boasting about lately. Since joining last summer, Nora had apparently fundraised for Nigerian schoolchildren, Syrian refugees, and hurricane victims in Puerto Rico. Now she was determined to outdo all her neighbors by displaying her great heart on her very own doorstep. After all, anyone could send money to those other people. Few had the fortitude and generosity to let a poor relation live under the same roof, almost like family. "We're putting you in the East Room," Nora said as Bert turned off the highway. "The big one in the corner?" Edie blinked away her surprise. "I know," Nora said, as if surprised herself. "Normally we save it for guests, but we're not expecting anyone until summer." Edie gripped the guitar case a little tighter as she mentally checked off yet another title she wouldn't hold during her stay. Family, guest, anyone. She shook off her growing irritation by silently reciting the mantra she and her best friend Shonda had developed while dealing with bitchy customers back at the burger barn in Ithaca. Think it, don't say it. She could imagine a giant swarm of flying piranhas busting through the front windshield and reducing Nora to a small mound of bone dust and a pair of pearl teardrop earrings. She simply had to smile politely while she pictured it. When Bert drove by the Entering Mansfield Incorporated 1770 sign, Edie recalled the last time she'd visited. It was more than 7 years ago, back when her mom's massive blowout with her sister led to a mutual boycott on family visits. Edie had been startled by her mom's ferocity, and a little impressed, too. The two of them made a pinky pledge that day to never enter Mansfield again. Now Edie was breaking that pledge. A little knot of guilt and grief formed in her gut. It tightened as the familiar landmarks continued to speed past. The ice cream shop, the library, the murky and probably polluted lake that Edie and her mom used to plunge into on hot summer days. Childhood memories flooded her,